So today, I think it's really hard for us to imagine the presidency without some of like the trappings of what is around the presidency, right? You think about Air Force One, and that is something that obviously was created much after the presidency, and St. Louis has a key role to play in the history of presidential flight. In 1910, Teddy Roosevelt, he's visiting the state of Missouri, and he's no longer the president. He had been replaced by William Howard Taft just a few years before, but he's still an incredibly powerful political figure in the United States. There's a lot of people that are seeking his endorsement. So in October of 1910, he's in Missouri, and he's here to, stump for other Republicans in the state. And he stops in St. Louis. He stops at a place called Kinloch Field, an aviation field. And he's stumping for various political causes. And one of the pilots who operates out of Kinloch Field approaches Teddy Roosevelt. And he asks the president, hey, would you like to go up in a plane? And this was not an approved thing. It's not like this went through many aides and went through all the testing and stuff. It was just a pilot who asked Roosevelt if he wanted to go. And Roosevelt, to the surprise of his aides, says, yeah, I'll go up. And before they can stop him, he's boarding Archibald Hoxsey's Wright Flyer, and he's getting ready to go up into the air. And you gotta understand, this is incredibly dangerous. This is in the first 10 years of flight. There's not safety standards. Planes are crashing all the time. Pilots are getting killed or injured. In fact, this pilot, Archibald Hoxsey, he gets killed just a few months after this in a plane crash. But he takes off with Roosevelt in the plane. They're up in the air for 3.5 minutes. And Hoxsey knows he has some precious cargo on board, right? So he stays pretty low. He doesn't do crazy tricks. He sort of dips and dives a few times. But they do court disaster in the air. At one point, Roosevelt starts waving to the crowd below, and he almost hits an exhaust cord. And if he had hit that and tripped it, the engine would have died and the plane would have crashed. Hoxsey sort of had to yell at him over the engines, like, please don't wave. But they land safely, and a reporter goes up and asks President Roosevelt, how was that experience? And he described it as one of the great experiences of his entire life. He was really taken with it. But Roosevelt is sort of an anomaly here. The first sitting president doesn't take a flight until FDR in the 1930s, and the president doesn't get a plane with his own call signal until 1953. That's when it's called Air Force One.
To learn more about the Missouri Historical Society, visit mohistory.org.